Oh God!
Definitely gonna cut you falling out.
I don't know. I might make it as the beginning front take that I've been doing. Right. Welcome to the Geek Branch podcast. I'm your host, Tim, and these are my co-hosts, Dane and Devante. And we're going to be doing the Otaku Talk. You know how it goes. You know how it is when it comes to our Otaku time. It's our favorite time. It is when we get to embrace our inner weeb or otaku, I mean.
This guy. Every time. Every episode.
He always has to choose the offensive term.
It worked last week when we had Cussler on.
Well, he was actually a weeb.
Yes, and he was for it. He's okay with the term.
No, he's come to accept it because he hasn't watched anything that qualifies you as a true otaku. He has no past history when it comes to anime.
No, he's never watched Cowboy Bebop.
Shot.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never.
He's totally all new style.
Speaking of when we were talking about, I know this isn't our main topic, but I just wanted to let y'all know while we also, while I let them know at the same time, the famous for nerds channel G4 that unfortunately is gone forever. It was pretty much dead once they started showing cops. Well, one of the guys that would guest on Attack of the Show is doing a documentary talking about the rise and fall of Attack of the Show and X-Play. What happened, why it went away, and what happened with
Adam Sessler.
It's not Adam Sessler. No, it's I don't know which one it is, but it's on Kickstarter. It's called Attack of the Documentary or something like that. So check that out. Go on Kickstarter if you're a fan like we were. But our main topic is actually about, with all the streaming services starting up with Disney, with this coming Tuesday with Apple that just started, which was, in my opinion, a dumpster fire. I mean, really, like no one is
that one show
interested.
Was fire though.
Which one?
Is it Servant by M. Night Shyamalan?
That's not even out yet.
I like that show.
It looks good, but it's not out yet.
But
The ones that we do have out.
About like streaming anime, not streaming shows.
No, but I was getting to that. But
Okay,
I'm just saying in general, I think the Apple service has been a dumpster fire.
Yeah, they have two big names. Whatever the Jason Momoa thing is, and then M. Night Shyamalan's.
No, that's not all. They have one with Steve Carell. And the chick from Friends and
the comedy one.
Yeah.
Well, you know me, I don't do comedy.
Yeah, I know you don't. But he's more than just a comedy actor.
Yes, he's evolved.
Yes, if you want to call it that. I prefer his Office days, but that's just me. But so with all those streaming services going on, with the streaming wars, instead of Netflix trying to counteract them with more big name Western stuff, they're actually putting their bet on anime. You might have noticed this with recent advertisements with Netflix. A lot of times when you open up Netflix now, you either see a new original of theirs or a new anime or a K-drama. They know what's going to work for them now.
I think they've made the right decision.
For them, yes. I think that's the right answer because a lot of times their originals aren't that great anymore.
Well,
it's hit and miss with them.
The ones that are great break their budget. Looking at you, Sense8.
Yeah, it's the most untapped market when it comes to major streaming services, if you think about it.
Their best ones always break their budget, so they have to cancel it early.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi has the same issue.
Yeah. So if you think about it with the other companies, like even with Amazon tried to do like a anime type thing with their Prime videos. They had, I think it was like Anime Blast or something like that. They did away with it. They did a few exclusives, but they didn't even advertise. Most people didn't even know that there was exclusives.
No, look, Netflix has this territory.
Yes.
Netflix should keep it. Netflix is the show. And I'm a type of person that has a type of brand loyalty. Once a brand does right by me, I stick with the brand. until the brand, of course,
Yeah,
you know,
but
catastrophically
Netflix is
goes.
also the ones that use all the CGI stuff.
That is true.
It's extremely
But
fast.
I know, right? But Netflix is also well, I mean, it's right up the street, Tim. But more,
Still, though.
Netflix is also the the streaming service that brought Wok Fu and Dofus to America. And that is why they have my loyalty in the animation circle.
Yeah, well, that's French
Regardless-
animation.
Yeah, but regardless of how bad it is, as far as their CG stuff goes, that alone makes them the premier
Right.
for me.
People
Well,
sleeping on whack food. I'm gonna just say that.
Well, Hulu has tried to dip their toes into the anime stuff too with their partnership with Funimation. I mean, they couldn't make a deal with Crunchyroll because it's owned by Warner Brothers, but that would have been the better company to partner
They
with.
made a partnership with Funimation.
And most of their stuff
It's
is
Funimation.
on Hulu.
Funimation just whoring around out here.
Yeah, I mean, they left Verve, and then we got a company I never even heard of until they switched out Funimation for that company. I don't even remember its name. Do you remember it? No, it's some other company, but they still have Crunchyroll. That's all that matters. That's the most important one. Well, the only company that will actually legitimately compete with Netflix in this department is HBO Max because they own Crunchyroll and they just got their deal with Studio Ghibli. So I think it's going to be the battle of anime when it's Netflix and Hulu, HBO Max. Hulu and Disney and Apple and Amazon, they all missed out on that ship.
Yeah. No, there's no competition as far as those two are concerned. I think the most important thing is going to be whether or not Netflix tries to fight for Japan
Right.
or utilizes its strength in other foreign markets, specifically Korea and China, because Korea and China produce their own animations too.
Yes, they do. And Netflix already puts a lot of money into Korea and China for their dramas.
So if they're going to lose just because of the clout that Crunchyroll and Studio Ghibli have as far as the Japanese market goes, they can pull and bring new content from, well, not just Korea and China, but also from France, because they have a great connection with the studio behind Wakfu and Dofus.
Another reason why I think that Netflix is starting to focus in on this stuff is because, according to some investor companies, they said, and one of the particular ones is called Trinian. They said that that Japanese animation content has quadrupled to almost $10 billion since 2012.
In our market or just global?
Global.
Yeah.
It's quadrupled. So it's becoming a beast finally in a global sense. It's always been big in Japan. That's their thing, but it's now starting to become a big thing.
Well, Japan needed that to happen. They overproduce in that one market to begin with. If that market didn't grow in demand, then I don't think it would have been sustainable.
Yeah,
so.
because I've seen some of their, I've seen my Korean dramas, I've seen my Chinese dramas, and I cannot stand Japanese dramas.
Oh no, live action Japanese TV is horrible.
It's weird. It's like the camera quality half the time is like
Young and the Restless levels.
Yeah, I
old
don't
Young and the Restless
understand.
levels.
Like they're the country that builds most of this stuff. Like not build it, it's mainly China that builds stuff, but they're normally the ones that design this stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't know why, but I'd rather watch live action from Taiwan than watch a Japanese live action.
Have you ever watched a Japanese live action thing?
Just any live action show? No,
it's really.
I have. I watched it. What was that? I forgot.
But it's not even like it's like they're using old technology. It's just
no, their production
bizarre.
quality is bad. The cinematography is weird. The acting is okay, and the stories are okay.
It's all about the cinematography that throws me off because it doesn't look like it's like in the 90s or something like that. They have modern day equipment. It's just like the way they use their cameras and the filters they use and the way they pan the camera.
And somehow movies are not this issue. Like Japanese movies are functionally acceptable,
but their shows,
TV. And I don't know.
I mean,
where
their game shows, it's whatever. I mean, they're game shows. They don't.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, their game shows are really extremely weird. Don't get me wrong. It's just
whatever entertains them.
Yeah.
But my point being is that I
love seeing little clips of their pranking shows. They're actually pretty hilarious.
I just feel like their roster for some strange reason or their talent is strictly locked behind movies, and that television gets nothing from them.
Yeah, and it's not like they're trying to replicate what they do with anime into live action TV shows or anything like
Yeah,
that.
we've seen that come and fail
Yeah.
multiple times.
But
Yeah.
that's not what they're trying to do. It's
No,
just
they're making their own new stuff. It's a
yeah,
completely.
it's just a weird style that we can't get past.
Yeah, no. And we're very adaptable. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you here, because the difference between a Chinese drama and a Korean drama is like the difference between water and oil.
Yeah, it's pretty different.
So we can cover some bases. I can't accept.
Because China is like much more corny than Korea, and then Korea is more out there, like
And
really goofy.
crazy,
Yeah,
yeah.
but just like with their country, they're a lot more reserved.
Yeah.
And it's kind of comical when they're more reserved. Like I was watching one about a germaphobe. It was hilarious. A Chinese drama.
Yeah.
But back to the news about Netflix focusing in on the anime department. I think that's wise. I think that's their most reasonable next route, because they're already trying to build these huge franchises with their originals, and a lot of it hasn't worked.
Right.
And
See,
they have a few that has worked, and so what does work is anime.
right. If I could sit down with their board and give them an honest message, I would tell them that don't fight HBO Max and Crunchyroll for Japan.
Yeah.
Right. Don't, if you get Japanese products, good for you.
Yeah, but don't try to make it like you're going up against
Yeah.
HBO Max.
Instead, do what you're best at. The ability to pull international studios.
Yeah.
Bring in Canadian animation, French animation, Chinese animation, Korean animation. Because if the Japanese market is becoming this way, it's guaranteed that at one point in the future we can expand.
I would
to
be
those other
interested to
regions.
see Korean animation.
Right, and so you can find it. It's
Yeah.
just nowhere near as
I've seen-
populous.
I've seen some Chinese animation. Oof.
Some of their new action ones are pretty good.
Yeah, some of their new
version
action
of
ones-
Shonen is
Yeah.
actually pretty hype. Because
Yeah.
it's all the strange things you saw in Chinese movies, the wuxia movies.
Yeah.
Which looks
I know there's one that's
ridiculous.
been getting a lot of hype. It's like God of High School or something like that.
Yeah, God of High School has been popular for a really long time.
Yeah, that's
though.
their big one.
Yeah, but
But I'm saying that's one of the ones that the animation's like, okay, that's good. But
Yeah.
like
They're just-
Stacy's grandfather will just keep the Chinese channel running. And one day we were over there, and it was like some kids like animated show, and it was like it was so goofy. Stacy's laughing over there, and the animation was so terrible, but her grandfather's just sitting there watching it,
Listen.
consuming it.
yeah, listen. Their feet are just hitting the ground. They're just starting to run. In fact, if you want to talk about like animation,
Mexican animation also looks
it's
bad.
just yes,
Yeah.
but it's also just starting. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
my
just
whole
starting, but I've seen some of that too, just like in passing of like I will go to a Mexican restaurant over here, and they might have one of the TVs have the Telemundo on.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. But imagine what happens though if these new studios from all across the world, because we're talking about global at this point,
right?
Um,
Because really,
get Netflix budget.
right? Because it took America a while to get up to the quality of
Yeah, I mean,
Japan.
if you have to talk about like raw animation quality, it is probably Japan, France, America,
Yeah.
or you can swap America and France dependently.
Yeah,
But those are the big three.
Yeah.
And to bring in these smaller countries as far as production is concerned, and start giving them like airtime, could be something that is going to be both cheap for Netflix, because obviously they're not expecting to enter the global market like this, so they can get bought at a very good rate.
and and countries and areas like Europe and Latin America, they're hungry
For
for
this.
animation.
Yeah.
They
And
love it.
Netflix could be the group
Yeah.
that brings it.
Yeah.
They could open up a new market.
Yeah,
This is
Latin
where Netflix should
America
go.
doesn't have as much.
Brazil.
Yeah,
Brazil is really bad about it.
yeah, but they don't have as much coming to them as say Europe does even.
Yeah, right.
So
but
this is their perfect.
but they want it. is
Yeah,
my point.
badly. Yeah,
Because Brazil is like
and then also Southeast Asia. There's actually a Facebook group that joined that had
for
me join.
Vietnam and the Philippines.
Yeah, I was gonna say Philippine. There's a Philippine group that I don't remember asking to join, but apparently I did, and they are so passionate. It's one of the most entertaining groups that I'm in.
Have you seen Brazilians talk about Naruto?
No,
Like,
but I've seen
they
some
are
Philippines talk
massive.
about it, and they love.
Yeah.
They and there was some massive Naruto and Boruto fans,
Fans.
and they were fighting. And I
Yeah.
was just sitting here enjoying every minute of it.
Right. Like seriously, if you ever get to catch it, like Brazil has some massive.
We
anime
might actually,
community.
they might, because I actually, since I joined the group, I actually did share one of our videos. So if any of y'all did join, decide to subscribe to us, thank you so much. I love the Facebook group; it's very entertaining. So thanks for the subscribe. But yeah, I mean, it is. I think it's a good thing for me to join those groups to understand the other countries how they
Yeah.
feel about the animes, because it's a very different outlook for them than us, and we're not the only market that Netflix goes to.
That's my point. And
Yeah,
Netflix totally can run like if HBO Max is going to be American centric,
yeah.
then Netflix can become the international.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most logical step for them, because with HBO Max, a lot of Americans are going to go to that because of one reason. And when it comes to animation stuff, Studio Ghibli, we know and love that studio. It's a very, very extreme. Well, it's extremely popular across the
Well, no,
globe, but
yeah,
it's
but
extremely beloved in America.
Americans are uniquely fond of them.
Yes, we love the animation from there.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't say guilty, but because it's not something to feel guilty about,
No,
but
but
it's
we're diehard Ghibli
yeah,
fans, so there's
yeah.
no way there's anything's going to change that.
Like, I cannot wait till he finishes that, Miyazaki finishes that movie for his grandson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there day one when they finally bring it over to America a
Yeah,
year
we
later.
could actually watch it in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that this is the right step for Netflix, because Netflix, there's a lot of studies saying because of Disney Plus, because of HBO Max, they're on a trend to where they could go bankrupt and
Oh yeah, no,
they could
they've
go
been
out of
losing
business.
money for the last 3
They're
years.
hemorrhaging. I
Yeah.
didn't even say that right.
Yeah.
All right, that's a new point.
But yeah, they've been losing money for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And their stock has
It's
been
like $10
decreasing.
billion a quarter that they lose almost.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they definitely need to go for something that is both cheaper to produce, and trust me, converting US dollars into whatever currency to fund these
Yeah.
other animation styles and studios will definitely go a long way. Because we just last week talked about how hard pressed Japanese animation studios were for financial support.
Yeah. Imagine the other countries.
Right.
Yeah.
And Netflix has more than enough money to purchase in bulk.
Yeah. And they save a lot of those companies when they do that.
Right. So it helps everyone all around. And then we finally get access to some obscure, but actually really good storytelling from these other nations that we just can't get any other way.
What do you think about Netflix going all in on animation?
They need to stop with the CG. Number one.
I'm
CG?
starting to notice that they're getting more and more non-CG anime on Netflix. This week, Stacy read the manga. It's something Maid Sama, and it's not CG anime. Huh? It is old? Oh, well, they did make some stuff recently, like Cannon Busters. Isn't that
Yeah.
what it's called? They make Cannon Busters. That's not
Cannon
CGI.
Busters and Soul Levantes is still to be seen.
Yeah.
But I think
But
they're moving
That'll
away
probably come out
from it.
next. Yeah, they're starting to move away. They'll still have some CG.
Yeah, but that was your first point. What was the other one?
They just need to open up to more outside studios, because I feel like right now the animation studio for Netflix by itself is just solely purposed on putting out as much content as possible, and all of it is CG, and that's
Yeah.
just terrible.
It looks like they're starting to go to more, but for the longest time, it's been that studio that they made with the Godzilla garbage and stuff like that,
But all I'm saying is that like if we look at some of their
and the weird space one with the bear.
yeah, but some of their new pickups, like for instance, Dragon Prince season 3, I think.
That one's a good one, but that's made by DreamWorks.
But that's
Yeah.
my point though. With Dragon Prince season 3, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's anywhere else. So it's
No,
advertising
yeah,
anywhere.
because they have a partnership with DreamWorks.
But things like Dragon Prince, things like
I like
Wakfu
Dragon
and
Prince.
Dokas,
Yeah.
because like I said, that was the only way that we got it here translated. Because otherwise, we have to go watch it French and in subtitles.
The only reason why the CG works with that is because it's made by DreamWorks. They're one of the
Or, I'm not
people
saying-
that.
I'm not saying support the CG. I'm not.
No. I'm
I'm
just saying that's the
saying-
only reason why it looks good is because they've been doing CG animation for so long.
Right. But my point with that is that Dragon Prince and Wakfu and Dofus are infinitely better than anything Netflix itself has produced.
Yeah.
So it might as well spend its money, stop producing the CG, and buy stuff from other animation
Right.
studios.
Yeah, they need more partnership deals like that. I
Right.
agree,
They
definitely.
got the potential.
Yeah.
If they capitalize off that niche market of animation, they could outweigh Disney by
Yeah.
a lot.
Because the platform's there. Netflix
Yeah.
is a solid
And
platform.
they have to start looking at these niche markets to save their company.
Yeah.
Because Disney's not about to go and put money towards Korean dramas or any of those type of things. They're not going to put their money into
No.
animation companies that they don't own.
Yeah, Disney no longer does anything small.
Yeah.
And so unless you're already large enough to be catching their eye, they're not going to pay any attention to it.
No, they got their Pixar and they got their Disney animation studio. They're not going to be worrying about anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, they might buy an animation studio, like
But it would have to be they would buy
it would
Studio
be a
Ghibli.
that ain't happening.
No, I'm saying, but it had to be like that. They
Yeah,
would buy
it would be a
that,
Japanese company for sure.
but they would never pay any attention to anything smaller than that.
No, I'm sure they wanted to buy Ghibli.
Yeah, so that's something that Disney looks for. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's a big
name.
monster. It has to eat big food.
Well, that all started when they started buying Pixar.
Yeah.
From Steve
Mm.
Jobs.
Mm.
But hopefully Netflix really cashes in on this. They go in the right direction with it. If they handle it right, they might keep themselves being the king of streaming services. And that Netflix hasn't really done me wrong. So
Like I said, I'm loyal.
yeah,
They brought me some of my favorite shows.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you love Amazon Prime for The Expanse, but other than that, I'm sorry, but it's the weakest link
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime got some good anime on there.
Whoa,
It's
whoa.
more mature content though.
Yeah.
But-
I
but-
noticed that.
I'm just talking about as a streaming service as a whole.
But yeah, whoa, one second. Have you
Yeah,
watched
you're right.
their other stuff?
What do you mean?
Because,
I watched some of their other originals. Yeah,
yeah, I mean they come out with some really good stuff in like the last year.
they've been starting to, but before that, like
yeah, okay. No,
it was like their ugly stepchild for the longest time. They
Yeah.
barely put stuff on it.
But what I'm saying is that the train has started running down the tracks, and I think it might catch up in the race.
Yeah, I think that they're not going to focus on anime much anymore.
Oh no, I doubt that's ever going to be a thing.
That's
for
a
them.
dead horse for
With
them.
with the explosive success of The Boys, The Expanse, Good Omens, or is it Bad Omens? Whichever one it is. I think it's Good Omens.
I don't remember, but it's
right.
it's good omens. I didn't watch all of it. My dad did. He really enjoyed it. It's with Michael Sheen and David Tennant.
Yeah, I watched every episode, but the name's blanking.
And
on
that guy is not related to Charlie Sheen.
me.
He's British. They're not related whatsoever.
Yeah, he played a Azithophil. His name is hard to
Yeah.
pronounce.
But yeah, so hopefully Netflix stays going that road that they're looking towards going. I mean, we just saw that one original Netflix anime you showed us just like a couple of weeks ago.
What was it?
One where the Japanese engineer and I guess he's like
Oh,
a samurai or
the
something.
The Great Race.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Great Race across the West.
Yeah. So they are going that direction. So we'll be right back. Please remember to like and comment. We really want to get some more fan engagement in our
Watch those
channel.
videos.
Yeah, watch the videos.
Please comment.
Yes, please comment. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for watching. Thank you for letting us get to the root of our geek culture with you.